As we all know, the Super Bowl was yesterday, and we saw a great game between the Los Angeles Rams and the Cincinnati Bengals. But I'm not here to talk about the game. I'm going to talk about the bets that I was telling you guys to take a look at before the game. And unfortunately, they did not hit, but they were very close. And if some minor things go a different way, they would have hit. And I know that doesn't count in betting, but you can't say I wasn't on the right track. And so the bets I made were Rams -4. They ended up winning by 3. Final score is 23-20. And Odell Beckham Jr. over 64 receiving yards. OBJ had 52 before his injury. So if the Rams don't miss that PAT because of the bad snap, a bad hold, and Odell doesn't get hurt, you could say that those two are likely to hit. And I'm not happy that they didn't hit, but I'm glad that they were on the right track. And I'm also glad that both didn't hit because I parlayed it. It's always better when you go over 2 instead of 1 for 2. And it's like, oh, if this goes this way, you get it. But obviously, it sucks that Odell got injured. He was doing really well. First two catches he got, he had that nice touchdown and that nice long reception on that crosser route. But you never want to see a guy injured, especially someone like OBJ that's worked hard through injuries before. You don't want to see someone like him get injured, and it really affected the game plan a lot for the Rams. Once he got injured, you could see they were struggling to find guys to throw it to. They used him a lot, just having him as their second receiver behind Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp got taken away for a while in this game, and that was when the Rams struggled, but they figured it out, and Cooper Kupp had a really good final drive that got the Rams to end up winning this game. He had a nice touchdown as well, and on this play, you can see that Odell and Cooper Kupp running routes together, and just the confusion that those two create by having them two on the field. And then as far as the spread goes, the Rams had opportunities to score more points. They had a couple drives that just didn't really go well. I was kind of surprised their defense couldn't come up with a turnover. I know they had about 1,000,000 sacks, but I was surprised they didn't. Just I'm almost impressed that Joe Burrow, the amount of times he's been sacked, doesn't have 1,000 fumbles. He did a really good job in this game. He definitely wasn't the reason the Bengals lost. But as far as the Rams go and them trying to cover that spread of 4 points, they were close. They ended up winning by 3, missed field goal, missed extra point. That's the difference. Makes the extra point. Make the extra point. It's 24-20, and you don't have that problem. As soon as it happened, I was like, oh no, that's gonna come back to bite me, isn't it? And it did. But I don't want to say luckily with OBJ's injury, but with the injury to OBJ and him not getting his yardage, it makes it so that it doesn't matter because at the point of the missed PAT, OBJ was already at 52 yards and he was still in the game, I believe. So it just two unfortunate things that screw me over here. But at the end of the day, the Rams did a really good job winning the Super Bowl. And just seeing OBJ move around after the game, it appears that he's going to be good going forward and he's not going to miss. He'll be back, not miss any time this offseason. He'll be back fully healthy. I don't think anything major happened. I saw Debo Samuel tweet saying the NFL needs to get rid of turf just because of the injury, because it's pretty much an injury that doesn't really happen on grass. It's just the way you move on turf, stuff happens like that. And I don't think that's something they'll ever consider because they're the NFL. But it's an interesting take from Debo Samuel, someone who I don't think he's had any major injuries in the NFL, but I'm sure he's definitely had injuries and struggled with turf in his career. Turf, as my experience of playing on it, it's varies a lot. Same thing with grass, but turf, everywhere you go, it's different. You got new turf like they have in SoFi, and then you got turf like Ohio State that's been there for a while and it's all faded. And it's a different type of turf, and it makes it like you have different spots for different where grass is usually fairly consistent. But I don't think that's the cause of the injury, and I don't think they need to make a change. But it's good to see that Odell appears that he's going to be fine. He's a good guy to root for just because of how much injuries he's dealt with, everything he's dealt with in his career. So it's good to see him get a ring. Good to see Aaron Donald get a ring. A lot of guys on the Rams make it nice to root for. The Super Bowl was one of the first in a while where it's like, okay, I don't really care who wins. As a Dolphins fan, I always kind of rooted against Brady in those Super Bowls, and but now this was a nice Super Bowl where it's like I don't really have a preference on who's going to win. It was an enjoyable game to watch. Fortunately, my bets did not hit, but they're very close. That makes me feel like I was on the right track, and I feel like I was, but close doesn't win in gambling. So hope everybody enjoyed the Super Bowl and did a better job betting than I did.